Hey, what is up and welcome back everyone, this is Figma number 220, Matoi Ryuko from the anime Kill la Kill, and this is one I've been waiting for a long time. I've been waiting since last February when I first saw it at Wonder Festival, and I'm so happy that it's here. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. But before that, let's take a quick look around the box. So again, the new style box here in red and black down here. To the window here in the front you can see Ryuko herself as well as two alternate faces and this scissor blade over here on the left. As usual, pictures on the top, the bottom, and on both sides here. And on the back of the box are some pictures of the figure in action, and so far it looks absolutely incredible. So let's not waste any more time, let's bust this thing open and see what we've got. The pull-out DI stage segment in this awesome shade of red. Here's the clear inner packaging, and like before, in here you can see the two alternate faces, the scissor blade, the figure itself, and around here on the back is the scissor blade in decapitation mode. And down here we've got the Figma bag, the alternate hands, base, and the stand, the list of parts here, and inside we've got how to put together both of the scissor blades. And so that's it for the unboxing. Let's check out the figure itself. So here she is out of the box, and you can see it looks absolutely fantastic. This is an amazing version of Ryuko. It looks so damn nice. The default face there looking really good, especially those eyes. They look fantastic here, just like they did on the Nendoroid, with the really cool cog-like pupils in there. The sculpt and coloring of the hair is awesome as well. The horns up here look really cool, and there is that iconic Ryuko red streak there in the front. The sculpt of the hair looks brilliant. These sweeping spikes back here look absolutely savage. That looks so good. Looking awesome as well back here, all these spikes look so cool. And they've really nailed that awesome red and black color scheme of her hair. And I have to say, red and black is the best color combination ever. Moving down to Senketsu here, and he does look awesome. There is a bit of a funky spot down here. It's not so noticeable, but it is there. But besides that, his eye here looks amazing. The scar over here as well, also awesome. The paintwork on the eye over here is amazing. The paint application here is nice and clean. Around here on the back of Senketsu's eye are these awesomely fine red, tiny lines. That looks so damn cool. The red line back here on the sailor uniform part looks fantastic. No funked up line anywhere to be seen. That looks perfect. And that awesome vent in her back here looking amazing as well. The teeth and the straps running down the front here look awesome, and this is one thing I really wanted to see how they would pull off, how they would make this not get in the way of the articulation. So that would be pretty cool to see later on in articulation. How will this actually work out? The spikes or teeth here running around the edge of the skirt look amazing. The sculpt of the skirt looks awesome as well. Another strap running up the back here, but this one doesn't actually cross the line here, the line of articulation. It just tucks neatly in underneath the upper section there. Finally, moving down to the boots, and the paint down here is perfect as well. Not a stray bit of paint to be seen anywhere here. Shoes down here looking epic as well. Some nice detail in the back here on the heel, and I really like this nice little attention to detail, this little fold in the boot down here. That looks so cool. As for height, she comes in at about 14.5 centimeters. Here she is next to the Fat Company Ryuko, next to the Nendoroid Ryuko, and finally next to the Figma Captain America, which came out the same day. So Figma Ryuko looks absolutely awesome in her Kamui Senketsu, but I am hoping to see the reverse of both of these. A Figma in the uniform version and a Nendoroid in the Kamui Senketsu version. That would be sick. So here's Figma Ryuko with everything that she comes with. So in here we've got a rack of 8 alternate hands, as well as the default fists back here. Here we have some widespread open hands, red on the palms as you can see here, which looks amazing. Some standard Figma holding hands here, bye. Some standard Figma holding hands here, some wider diameter holding hands here. I'm gonna assume these are for using with the larger decapitation mode scissor blade. And lastly, these two hands here with a hooked thumb, index, and middle finger. Also a spare joint for the hands. Here is her scissor blade, and I have to say this looks absolutely perfect. I really love the design of this weapon. It's such an awesome concept, and it can detach at this point like this. To attach this then, just stick it in like this. I mentioned before that one of the holding hands had a slightly different diameter to the other, but right now I'm not so sure. They seem fairly identical. Here they both are holding onto the scissor blade, and I really don't see much difference between them at all. They seem pretty much the same. Maybe this one here holds it at a slightly sharper outward angle, but really not as much as you'd see with most other Figma, so it's kind of confusing. Next up is the huge, awesome decapitation mode scissor blade, and this looks awesome. And just like the smaller version, this can detach at this point for connecting it into the hands. This, just like the smaller version, connects into the hand in exactly the same way. As for faces, we've got this shouting face and this clenched teeth face. To swap the faces, as always with a Figma, you just pull off the front of the hair like this, off of the face, and I'll just point out here that they've made the inside of the neck black here to match with the way Senketsu comes up onto her chin like that. Then you just stick that on and then stick back on the hair, which I'll also point out has red on the inside there, so that's some good attention to detail, and just stick that on like so. So that's it for that, and that is a pretty nice set of accessories. Now moving on to articulation, and as usual from the head down. So here's the head all the way to the front, and that is pretty damn good. And all the way to the back, not much, so a lot to the front, nothing to the back. Side to side, that could probably spin the whole way around, but I really don't want to risk breaking the eyes here on Senketsu. This does feel a little bit delicate down here. How about some side to side tilt? Well, we've got quite a bit of that going on in here, actually a lot. So that's pretty damn good. Onto the arms now, and there it is all the way up. That can rotate all the way around as well. The bend at the elbow, straighten that out again, and all the way down at the wrist, as well as all the way up. You can probably get a little bit more with that if you wiggle around the joint in there a little bit. I can also spin all the way around as well, like that. I'll just point out here that this part here on the sailor uniform flap thing here, that's made out of soft material, so that won't get in the way of the arm. As you can see, that moves around quite a bit. The eyes on Senketsu can move around. These are jointed in here at this point. I'm not sure what the limits exactly to this is. These feel really delicate, so I'm not going to push them because they may end up breaking off, and I don't want that to happen. But they can move around quite a bit, so they won't really get in the way of the articulation too much. Like I mentioned earlier on, I really wanted to see if these strap parts here would get in the way of the articulation at the upper torso here. So let's take a look at that and see. So here's her crunch all the way to the front, and as you can see, these are soft, so they bend. Here it is all the way to the back, and that will catch on those straps there, so you don't want to push that too much. These as well will limit the side to side movement. As you can see, they eventually catch, but you still get quite a bit of a rotation besides that. Also a little bit, slight bit of a side to side crunch. Articulation now at the hips, and there's the leg all the way up to the front. Here it is all the way to the back, all the way up and out to the side there, so she can nearly do the splits. You can rotate here at the thigh, side to side, rotate around like that, and there is the bend at the knee, and not too bad of a bend there. And finally, articulation at the ankle. There's all the way down, all the way up. That can rotate all the way around, and it can also rotate in here a bit at an angle, side to side like that. So what can I say? As usual, the quality of this Figma is absolutely top notch. As for paint, it's that awesome Max Factory matte paint that we see all the time, and it looks fantastic here as well. This figure has a whole load of sections where the black and red come into contact, and all of the lines are straight and perfectly executed. And to be honest, I can't see a part anywhere where it goes outside of the lines or goes a bit wobbly. There are a couple of minor flaws in the paint job, like this section here where I pointed out earlier on. There is a bit of an error here, and up here as well, this looks a little bit scratched off here. But besides that, there's nothing major to be noticed anywhere on this. As for the detailing, it's absolutely perfect, especially on the faces. The eyes are amazing, and the expressions that come with this are absolutely fantastic. They're really expressive and just look great. The joints on here, they're all super strong and have a great range of movement, so I really wouldn't worry about pulling off some awesome poses and her staying in them as well. The part Senketsu's eyes connect to here do feel a little bit delicate, so I would be careful with these parts in case they might break. They may not, just be careful anyway. Like I've pointed out before, that awesome soft plastic that is used quite often in Figmas is used here, like up here on the shoulders, on the skirt down here, so it is a bit flexible, as well as on these straps here, so it does look good and at the same time does not really get in the way of the articulation. So that's amazing there. So again, another awesome addition to the already awesome Figma lineup. So that's it for my review of Figma Ryuko. So far, from the 3 figures I reviewed already of her, this has to be my favorite. As for Figma, it is shot right up to at least in my top 3. Again, it's got the awesome paint, detail and sculpt you expect with a Figma. All the joints are super strong, it's really poseable, and it just looks outright awesome. The 2 extra expressions look amazing. They're so so good. Those soft Figma plastic parts have been used here really well in the straps on the front and up at the shoulders. The quality here is fantastic. It would have been cool to see a few more accessories in there, but hey, this is pretty damn good. This is one of those Figmas that the expressions are so good I can't choose which one I want to pose it in, so I almost want two of these figures. So it goes without saying I can't wait for the Figma Satsuki, and really hope, even though it'll probably never happen, to see more Kill la Kill Figmas, especially the Elite Four and especially Gamagori. So what can I say? I highly recommend this Figma. If you're a Kill la Kill fan, buy it now. It's just that good. As always, thanks again for watching, and make sure to come back for more Figma reviews.